Hi guys, it's Queenie here and I've got a brand new video today. I am very excited about this one. I am very happy we're going through the control room. If you stood in this room, you know fine well the temperature rises and the whole mechanics actually rely on you, and it can be very stressful and confusing when you're doing it for your first time. I've done many weeks and weeks of training in control room. I have so missed healing in control room. I'm just glad to be back. I'm literally crying with happy tears because I'm healing. Yes, I so love teaching healing, but when I'm teaching it non-stop, I think to myself, I want to heal. But today is the day I'm actually healing. I'm so excited. I've actually spent many hours. I have spent so many hours in the control room. I literally did my first Iron Horse in the control room, and I was wondering, what the hell? What am I supposed to do? What are these screens? What are these? I don't know. How am I supposed to keep myself alive and not die? I was constantly wiping. I was dying at the wrong times. I was getting shouted at. I was getting told off for 48 hours. Oh, my head was about to explode. I was about to give up with it, but I stuck with it. And now I'm absolutely a pro at it. I love it. I live in there. I love teaching it. Somebody comes up to me, can I do control room? I want to learn it. You should see the look on my face. I'm like a child in a sweet shop. Now I'm constantly looking for ways. How can I make this more difficult for me? I'm not going to use my Restorer Hive. And then I think, I've done that. Now how can I make it more difficult? Got no ideas. If you've got any ideas how I can make control room more difficult for myself, drop them down in the comment, because I love a challenge, especially when it comes to the control room. Before we get into the build itself, I actually want to go through the control room, go through a quick rundown of the mechanics. I'll show you a quick overview of my build. All I'm going to say, it's going to get increasingly hot inside. Your health becomes the number one priority. You also call out the codes, managing your hive, managing staying alive, opening doors. You're right at the control. This is your encounter. You're controlling the encounter. Healer dies in an awkward place. It's game over. It's a wipe. We've got to start again. I know it sounds quite a lot, but we'll get through it together. As always, we'll go step by step through it together. I've got footage from my open doors, Iron Horse, and we're going to go through it without any gameplay, and I'm going to explain stuff to you and show you positioning and how we can make it so much easier. So the next time you're in control room, you'd be thinking, why didn't I do that? Let's try this. Oh, Queenie's just give me so many good ideas and good tips. Control room's just come a whole lot easier for myself. The first thing we're actually going to do is go through the build, because I run it slightly different to any other healer I've got. And then we're going to go through the little cheat sheet that I've actually made, and I'll explain things before we actually go through the mechanics of the fight. This is actually my little cheat sheet. As you can see, I've labelled the screens, like screen 1, screen 2, screen 3, screen 6, etc. We've got the Crucible facility, we've got the airlock occupancy, got the water valve which sends water into the furnace, we've got the airlock controls over there, the Crucible controls, as well as what the codes should look like when it's actually live and you can see them on the screens. Right, I'm going to show you the healer build that I actually run in control room. This is the healer build I actually use for control room. It's slightly different to the healer build that I use in Dark Hours. I've optimized it so a little bit more survivability in the control room. I am running it with Technician for the extra skill tier, and I can actually run an armor core. Still run the 4P's Future Initiative along with the BTSU gloves, and I use a piece of Brazos. It is the Hermano, the named backpack with perfect overclock. Scorpio. I run the Scorpio as sometimes the Chunga that spawns are on top Alpha or top Charlie. Especially if it spawns in top Alpha, it can glitch through the doors, and the Scorpio is my best friend. It can actually help me kill the Chunga. Shooting a target applies stacks of venom, which lasts for 10 seconds. Increasing stacks adds more severe debuffs to the target. 2 is poison, 4 is disorientated, 6 is shock, and 9 target takes additional 20% damage from all sources. Stacks no longer increase. Durations of status effects is based on a percentage of the pellets on applying shot. I have the Harmony with me. It's perfectly in sync. Hitting an enemy grants plus 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants plus 20%. Weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. The talent's next to useless for me, but I just carry it with me, as I don't think having a lefty for sledge is actually useful in this fight. And obviously I have my quick step and 4 pieces of future initiative on iron in dark hours. 4 pieces of future initiative. We have the mask, chest, holster, and Kneepads. So 2 pieces gives us 30% repair skills. 3 pieces gives us 15% skill haste and 30% skill duration. 4 pieces gives us this wonderful talent, ground control, increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15% when at full armor. When you repair an ally, you and all allies within 5 meters of you are also repaired for 60% of that amount. I have repair skills and a skill haste mode. And the chest piece, I have skill haste and a repair skills mode. It also has this talent, a tactical superiority, which increases ground control damage bonus from 15% to 25%. So basically what the chest is actually doing, it's actually giving your team a 25% damage buff, which is really, really handy. We've got the holster, it's got repair skills on, and the Kneepads, it's got the repair skills. All right, BTSU gloves. BTSU gloves are absolutely fantastic in the control room. You're in charge of overcharge, you can overcharge yourself as many times as you want to get your hive back. It's important that you actually keep yourself alive, and getting that fast cooldown from the overcharge is perfect because your hive is back within 2 seconds. BTSU comes with skill haste and repair skills on it. It grants 15% hive skill haste per skill tier. So what's that saying is, even though if you don't have overcharge, your hive is actually going to be coming back to you quicker than normally if you weren't wearing BTSU gloves. So instead, if you had a pair of Alps gloves on, your hive would have a much more slower cooldown when you are not overcharging it. But if you're not overcharging it while you've got BTSU on, you get a slighter, faster cooldown. Detonating a hive refreshes your skill cooldowns and grants overcharge for 15 seconds. If at skill tier 6, this effect also applies to all allies. Allies receiving this effect are unable to benefit from it again for 120 seconds. So basically, when you break a hive, you're proccing overcharge for the whole team, which will give, if they've got any offensive skills, it'll give them like a damage increase. If they've got skills on cooldown, they'll literally get their skills back. I'm actually using the Brazos Hermano Backpack, which also gives me brand set bonus of 10% skill haste. I've got an armor core on there at the moment, but I do switch it about. I do tend to switch it to a skill tier every now and again, depending how I'm actually feeling. I've got 12% skill haste. We've got repair skills on there, and I've actually got a skill haste mod. The talent is perfect overclock. Allies within 15 meters of your deployed skill gain plus 30% reload speeds and reduce their active cooldowns by 0.6 seconds. So what perfect overclock is actually doing while you're in the control room, especially, your chems has a much faster cooldown than if you were just using the setup or an Alps with opportunistic. You're getting your chems back at a faster rate, which means you can just drop a chem on you whenever you feel like it. But be warned, you cannot double stack chems because they do not stack. And obviously I'm running the chem launcher and the Restorer Hive. Right, we're going to go through the mechanics. I know you walk into the control room and you go, wow, am I really doing this? It looks scary. There's so much to do and learn. But I'm going to give you the Queenie version, the Queenie one down. And it'll all make sense to you. This encounter, you don't worry about any of the DPS players. You concentrate on yourself, your health, and your health only. Anybody else? Who cares? Tough shit. They can look after themselves. I'm always blunt like that. I'm going to break the mechanics down into 3 phases. Right. First phase is codes. Second phase is weak points. And fourth phase is water and boss damage. I ain't going to lie. This is not going to be easy. It's going to be confusing. You're going to be terrified. And you're probably wondering, what if we die? What if we end up wiping? Who cares? I don't. We just do it all over again. The main communication is actually going to be between the healer and the tank. Whether the tank goes inside or stays in airlock, all we need to hear is those 2 people. Anybody else, it's just mana call box. It's my box. It's my box. But the main people that need to be talking is the healer and the tank. First phase is codes. When the tanks walked in and back out into the airlock, we're gonna get the images on these black screens. It's something like this. It could be a double belt, broken belt, white belt, black belt, moving belt, double hook, broken hook, white hook, black hook, or a moving hook. They're all gonna appear on these screens, and the tank will be relaying a code back to you. If it's F, it's gonna be screen 1. If it's going to be P, it's going to be screen 2. If it's C, it's screen 3. If it's Alpha Romeo, it's screen 4. If it's M, it's screen 5. And if it's 45, it's screen 6. Different teams have different abbreviations for the screens. Just remember, each team runs the raids different to each other. Some may encounter different mechanics, different ways of doing it. It goes down to that team how they run the raids. So try and adapt to how they run it. Double check things before the encounter actually starts with the raid leader. We always have our tank from Alpha, so we basically open Alpha, recode, open Alpha, recode. How it's gonna work, we have a Crucible number. It goes up 0, 25, 50, 75 and 100. Once you've seen it, it reaches 100%. It's time for weak points. Here's the thing. When it gets to 75, you hear a siren, and that'll be Rocket's phase. Rocket's phase is around about every 2 minutes, I think. Not 100% sure. When it comes to weak points, we use this machine here and we interact with it once, which enables the first weak point. Then we open Charlie. The weak point gets shot. We run back. Or move the Crucible. Run back to Charlie. Move to the Crucible. We do this 3 times. And that's if the airlock tank is actually staying in the airlock, but if the airlock tank is actually going inside to play with the boss and cancel his white mechanic, which is his Bart, then the person who's doing weak points can actually go inside the furnace because the tank will have full aggro of the boss and can easily shoot the 3 weak points. So you don't need to move over there. You can just stay in front of this Crucible control and just move it. When the 3 weak points have been shot, we're going to move it 2 more times, and we're just going to douse the cannon in lava. Just after the cannon is doused in lava, you can have a rocket phase depending on how fast you do the weak points. If you slow doing weak points, you're going to have a rocket phase during weak points. Once the lava is on the cannon, we're going to go over to Bravo, and we're just going to get around about 4 people in Bravo. Once 4 people are in Bravo, we'll open the airlock for them to kill Pfizer. People who are not in the airlock can actually kill the ads while the others are killing the boss. We do it this way because if we're killing the ads when the bosses die, the less ads are going to be about. And literally, if the encounter finishes and there's no ads, we don't have to clean up the ads. All we probably have to do is clean up the Chunga. But if you are going to kill the Chunga, you've got to make sure boss has no armor bars. If the boss has armor bars, the Chunga's going to respawn. If it has no armor bars, the Chunga does not respawn. I know I've just made the control room look slightly easy, but trust me, give yourself time, practice, don't rush it, and you'll get there, I promise you. And that is the control room healer build mechanics, the guide. If this has helped you, I really appreciate a like. It actually does help the video and people will find it more. And if you've got any questions about the build mechanics, drop me in the comment line and I'll do my best to help you. If you're new here, welcome. I do a lot of division raid guides. I generally do all division content mainly. That's it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. If you want to watch more Iron Husk raid guys, just click on one of these videos above me. See ya. Yeah.